All right, guys, here we are. I'm back from a fan fest to watch Germany Curacao, and we're here today to watch the Netherlands versus Japan. It's going to be a fun game. Sorry for being late. I was at the Germany Curacao fan fest at Coliseum, and it was honestly really, really fun. It was $10 to get in, which I didn't love, but it was a fun atmosphere. Even though the result was like never in doubt. It was kind of cool to see Curacao score a goal. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing today? I'm excited for this game. It's nice to watch teams that I think might be relatively even. I'm going to pull up the Netherlands Japan score, the starting lineup here in just a second. Prediction for this game. Ooh, this is a tough one. Let me see the starting lineups first. Tack's going to be here in just a sec. Okay. So here's the starting lineup. For Japan, Zion Suzuki in goal. We really fumbled that one. Junya Ito, Taniguchi, and Watanabe are the back three. They're in a 3-4-2-1, kind of like the US. And then Ritsu Doan is on the right. Nakamura is on the left. Daichi Kamada and Sano in midfield. Takafusa Kubo and Daizen Maeda. I believe that's his name. Yeah, Daizen Maeda from Celtic. And then, of course, their striker is Ayase Ueda up top. And then for the Netherlands, Verbruggen in goal from Brighton, Bart Verbruggen. Van de Ven is the left back. Denzel Dumfries is the right back. Virgil van Dijk, the captain, is together with Van Hecke. I think he's also from Brighton. Yeah, he is. And then their midfield is, to me, going to be the most interesting of this. You have Tijani Reinders, Man City, formerly of Milan, Ryan Gravenberch, and then Barcelona's Frankie de Jong. That midfield is going to tell us a lot. Daniel Malen playing as the striker, Cody Gakpo on the left, and Serencio Somerville on the right. I never knew that Virgil had Cambodian ancestry. He could have cooked us. Curacao, worst team in the World Cup so far? Yeah. Although, I don't know. Germany might have done that to South Africa, too. At least the thing about Curacao is, look, they didn't have a good team, but at least they tried to play. And they got a few shots off. They scored a goal. I'll give them credit for that. So this one is tough because Japan is missing quite a few players, right? Obviously, Endo is done and retired, and he left the camp. But they're missing some really key players. Ko Itakura is an interesting guy who could come off the bench defensively. Ao Tanaka is a good player. Shuto Machino, Keisuke Goto, Junya Ito. Oh no, Junya Ito is coming off the bench. This is a different Ito. Yeah, this is Hiro Ito from Bayern. My bad there. National anthems are being played. Kevin Polite says, I have some respect for Curacao. They look like a better team than South Africa. Honestly, Curacao, look, it was always going to be a thumping. They don't have the players, right? But credit to them. They fought bravely, and I think they gave a good account of themselves in terms of, trying to play and trying to make it entertaining and trying to make the Curacao fans happy, which for them, they're just happy to be at a World Cup, to be honest. Curacao can be prouder than Paraguay, who are disgraceful. Agreed. What's up, Pete? Thanks for the stream. Thanks, K Plum. Thank you. I might be a little fading. Wow, Moriyasu still in charge of Japan. He was there last year as well. Where is our game with Turkey going to be? It's going to be in Los Angeles at SoFi. Japanese national anthem is playing right now. Chahit Tong of Curacao played for Man United at one time. Yeah, and then he got loaned out to Birmingham. So Japan is going to be interesting because obviously, I don't want to say they're a hyped team, but they're a team that a lot of people like, right? But they are missing some key players, Endo, for example. And then that guy from Monaco, what's his name? Just joined. Your thoughts on Australia? Thanks for the stream. Very tough opponent, very good at compressing space, good at hitting you in a transition moment. I think they're going to be a very, very tough opponent. Australia will be a tough game. Yeah, I think it's going to be tougher than Paraguay. Thank you for the content, Pete. We love you. Minamino, thank you. How do I forget Minamino's name? Yeah, Minamino and Endo not being there really hurts Japan. Nathaniel Brown looked very good today. It really sucked watching him play for Germany. We fumbled that too. U.S. fever is starting to sweep the nation slowly but surely. I think so. I think people are. I saw a lot of USA jerseys at the Fan Fest today. It was a lot of Mexico and a lot of USA, and obviously Germany, Curacao, so a lot of Germany jerseys as well. Who are Japan's best players in this lineup? Oh, so many of them. I mean, Ito, for sure. Daichi Kamada, always been a very good. Takafusa Kubo over at Real Sociedad is a real threat. Daizen Maeda is a good finisher, but I don't think he's one of their best players. Ueda for Feyenoord is going to be interesting. I haven't seen a lot of him. Another Feyenoord player here in Tsuyoshi Watanabe. Zion Suzuki is a very good goalkeeper. And then Kaishu Sano over at Mainz. I'd say their most threatening player is probably going to be Kubo. Probably Kubo. Do we think Poch plays the same lineup and tactics against Australia? Yes. I think we'll have the exact same lineup and the same tactics. That's how he wants the team to play. Honestly, surprised by the amount of Curacao supporters at the game. Yeah, I mean, they were there. They showed up big time for their team. So kudos to them. Japan's goalkeeper is American, right, Pete? Yeah, I mean, his name is Zion Suzuki. He's Niger. I believe, I could be wrong, but he's Nigerian, American, and Japanese. So he would be eligible for all three. But we never tried to recruit him because we thought we had Matt Turner, and like, who needs Zion? And look, maybe he would have said no to us, but I think we fumbled that one. I really do. So, great question, Rag Show. I'm still really confused on how they're going to pick 3 teams from the groups to make it out of the knockout rounds. Like, will it come down to goal difference? So, it's going to come down to points is the first one, whoever has the most points. Now, a lot of them are going to have equal amount of points, either 3 or 4. If you're equal on points, then it comes down to goal difference, right? And then I think after goal difference, it comes down to goals scored. So those are the 3 ways that they're going to measure who are the best 8 third place teams. Ghanaian, not Nigerian. Okay. Yeah. Ghanaian, American, and Japanese. All right. Game is about to start for me on Fox 1. So as you can see on Fubo, the game is kicked off. No? Has it kicked off for you guys? Who are we rooting for, guys? I'm rooting for Japan. I want Japan to be good. They're such a fun team. Ref, blow the whistle. You've been standing there for like 2 minutes. Fucking blow it. All right. And the game is kicked off for me. I don't know why Yeah, so I'm about 14 seconds behind. I definitely want Japan to win today. I think it's fun to watch UEFA nations have these major crash outs to better teams. So far, Asia has made a really good accounting of themselves in this World Cup, AFC. Oh. Japan starting nice and aggressive, nice and early. Denzel Dumfries coming inside. He finds Cody Gakpo on the left. Japan clear their lines. What are you watching on? I'm watching on Fox 1 because that is the closest I think I can get to you guys because my antenna doesn't have shit. All right, Virgil van Dijk. Look at the Asian team so far. South Korea won. Australia won. Who was the other Asian team? Qatar got a draw. So if you think about it, the Asian teams had got 7 out of 9 so far. 7 out of 9. Yeah, CONMEBOL honestly has not looked good. CONMEBOL and UEFA so far have not looked great. Paraguay lost, and Brazil drew. Are there any other CONMEBOL nations? American referee in this match. All right, Frankie de Jong trying to do something here. Yeah, there's 4. So Colombia hasn't played. Argentina hasn't played. Uruguay has not played. Colombia, Uruguay, and Argentina have not played. Who's the 6th one again? Imagine if Uruguay does not beat Saudi Arabia the next game. Ecuador, duh. How do I forget Ecuador? Yeah, so there's still 4 more, but it hasn't looked good for Paraguay and Brazil, especially Paraguay. Cody Gakpo slides in Daniel Malin. He's trying to hold it up. He turns. Save. Great save, Zion Suzuki. Great save, Zion Suzuki. Yeah, Ecuador is playing Ivory Coast. I think TAC is covering that game or doing a watch along for that game. Good save, Zion Suzuki. That's a great turn and shot by Daniel Malin. European team started off slow in the Club World Cup too, but grew into the tournament. Look, out of the semifinalists, I think there's going to be at least 2 European teams. The best European teams are still going to go very far. But the difference is, TAC is here. The difference is that, there's 16 teams in UEFA, right? And then they complain when Italy doesn't make it and go, UEFA should actually get more, teams. I saw somebody today saying most of the watching world is in Europe for the World Cup. He was like, the time zones should be adjusted to Europe because that's where most of the world watching is. I'm like, are you out of your mind? There's probably more people watching in North America alone than all of Europe. I kid you not. But Asia, Africa, South America, the entire continents are watching. This idea that like the public, it was a Brit, of course it was a Brit. It was just like, but the thing is, that's where all the people watching are in Europe. It's like, bro, what are you saying?
Well, the population of people watching in Europe is probably about the same as the Americas, which is our time zone here.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
probably about the
definitely.
same.
I think you
Actually,
mean North and
actually,
South America? It's more.
South America has 450 million people. Mexico has another 100 and something, and those countries, the World Cup is
Everyone's watching.
equally as popular as Europe. Now, when you go to Costa Rica, all those other countries also as popular. Now, obviously, the U.S. is not as popular, and Canada, but they still draw millions of people. It's probably about the same. It's like the point is, no, they don't have the majority.
No, they don't. And dude, India alone probably beats Europe. You know how many people in India are watching the World Cup? They love it over there. Forget like China, Thailand, the South. Dude, like, what's the population of Asia? Most of Asia is watching the World Cup.
I just think that even so, even if that's their case, it doesn't really matter. Like it's the World Cup, it's not the Euros. They have the Euros, so they have
Yes.
that, which is always their time zone. The World Cup will be played in different host countries, and it'll have different time zones because you adapt to the time zone of that country. That is how it is. Like eventually, maybe 2038, we'll have it maybe in Australia, and the time zone is going to be terrible for us. I'm not going to complain about it. That's part
Yeah.
of it. I'll either go to Australia if I have the funds to do so, or I'll freaking wake up at 2 a.m. and watch it. Like
Yeah.
it's just how it works. I think Europe, they just think the world revolves around them,
Yeah.
and it makes them very unlikable.
Yeah. And that's the thing they accuse Americans of being, which is sometimes true. But Europe has the same problem. UEFA or FIFA, you got morons running. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Africa alone has 1 billion people. I promise you, Africa's watching this World Cup. Most of Africa is watching this. They love football in Africa. I really want someone outside of UEFA to win this. Well, the problem is if it's outside UEFA, it's going to be a CONMEBOL team. So you're basically Brazil, Argentina, maybe Colombia. I would settle for somebody who hasn't won it before winning. Like if it's Portugal or the Netherlands or Belgium. I don't think they are. I mean, Portugal probably has the best shot, but I don't think so. I think
I
Colombia could go deep, but I don't think they're going to win it.
I just don't see how Portugal wins with Ronaldo starting up top. And I know this may
That's a
sound
problem.
crazy, but he is literally a liability these days, and a big one
Yeah.
because also the players are like trying to play for him, and
Yeah.
it just
No, they defer to him and they cater to him. I know
he
it sounds crazy, but I would have left Ronaldo off that roster. He's the kind of
yes.
guy that it has to be all about him. And that's the problem. He's not as good as he used to be, clearly, but he still thinks it's all about him. And when you watch Portugal in qualifying, they actually look better when he wasn't there.
Yeah, if he had stepped up and even talked to the coach about a new role, he's like, "Listen, I want to be a guy on the bench that's a leader, an inspiration for the team. And if you
Yeah.
need a late goal and you're just, chugging in crosses and everything, just send me in. Or let
Yeah.
me take a penalty kick, right? He'll convert most penalty kicks. That's
Yeah.
about it. If he could embrace that role, he would still be useful. The
And then play
current
the role of
version,
like a leader and like almost an assistant coach, like the guy who's like, I'm here for the team, let's go. Then he would be fine, but that's not who he is.
the
The
Roldan
problem
of
is,
Portugal.
yeah, if you, of course, like Roldan is a terrible player, and Ronaldo still can. I think he will get a goal or two, maybe we'll see. But
Did he in the last World Cup, Pete? I don't think he did.
the last World Cup, yeah, he didn't.
He didn't. And he's not younger now, dude.
No, that was 3.5 years ago. Isn't he the oldest player at the World Cup? He's 41, right?
He should be.
Yeah, he just turned 41. Messi turns 40 in June. So this
I'm
month,
just
Messi
saying
turns 40.
he didn't really score in the last World Cup, and he's not better now than he was 3.5 years ago. So
Well,
he
now
could.
also he's gone to Saudi Arabia since then. And I'm sorry, say what you like, your level's going to drop. Not just the aging, but playing in Saudi Arabia, your level's going to drop.
Yeah, he was with Manchester United back then.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Scotland have a 42-year-old keeper.
It's
Wow.
probably the third goalkeeper though. Like that's fine.
Yeah. And a goalkeeper is different. How old is Modric? Is Modric 40 or 41?
39, right? I think 39.
Really?
Let me
It's
see.
crazy
Modric.
how many of this like last tournament this
He's
is.
40.
He's going to be
Modric.
41 in September.
Yeah, but Modric, unlike Ronaldo, he was actually playing a lot of minutes in the Serie A this season, unlike Ronaldo.
Yeah, and also Modric is not as reliant on the things that age matters. He's so technical and so smart.
Mhm.
Whereas I feel like Ronaldo, a lot of him did come from athletic ability, right? He was a very skilled player, but a lot of it was his extreme explosiveness and speed. Yeah,
Yeah,
Ronaldo's 41.
yeah. Ronaldo was the perfect mix of he was smart in his positioning. He knew where to make the runs. The athleticism was insane, and the technique. He had everything. But Modric relied entirely on technique and being smart. Ronaldo had everything. That was the big
Yeah,
difference. So once Ronaldo lost one, he feels a lot. Also, Ronaldo, it's a different position too. Like Modric plays a position that's more of like you have to think more, control the tempo of the game. It's
yeah,
different.
he's a
Ronaldo,
facilitator.
yeah, Ronaldo's a guy that needs to be beating like strong, explosive defenders. It's tougher to play up top. Like I always say this in soccer, and people don't agree with me because they like to defend defenders as well. But it's tougher to score than it is to defend. So the toughest position to play in soccer is the goal scoring one. It's always going to
Yeah,
be the toughest one.
yeah. I'd say midfielders too, who have to run up and down more than anybody
And create, score,
and
defend.
create, score, defend. They have to do all of it. Like a box to
Mhm.
box midfielder, I think has one of
Oh,
the more difficult jobs. Japan,
you have the antenna, right?
I have the antenna and it didn't have Fox or Telemundo.
What? Scan it
Yeah,
again.
I have. I scanned it 4 times. They gave me 5 channels, and none of them were Fox or Telemundo.
Where are you living?
Los Angeles, you would think, right? I literally
What?
attached it. I put the antenna outside the room as high as it could go, as far as the cord would let it go.
That's insane because you think you're in like Wyoming or something.
Yeah, it's wild. But I did find Fox 1. I'm only about 10 or 11 seconds behind on
Yeah, so
Fox 1.
BMR209 said put the antenna in a different spot and scan again. I would try that as well. Like, for example, where
I
mine is.
moved it all the way around the room.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Did it find other channels?
Yeah, I found a few, like Cops. You can watch Cops. Or like, it found other channels. It's just, it didn't find anything else, which is kind of crazy.
So far, I'm going to tell you one thing. Out of all the games I've watched, this one is the one that's looking the highest level in terms of like technique, style of play of both sides, like proper soccer. Because even Brazil, dude, that was not like proper soccer. Brazil was not holding possession well. Morocco was just complete chaos, pressing, running, botting everyone. It was not the level you want to see. This is
No.
looking good, like the way they're moving, the way the players are playing tactically. Now Japan needs to actually create something here. They're missing Mitoma, by the way. He's
They're
out, right?
missing Mitoma, Minamino, and Endo. 3 big players for them.
If they beat the Dutch, which I think they have a very good chance, that's a statement, dude. It's like us beating the Dutch without Pulisic, Tyler Adams, and
But is Mitoma out for a long time, or is he
the World Cup. He's out of the
He's
World
done,
Cup.
right? Yeah, Mitoma,
That is crazy
Minamino, and
depth,
Endo.
dude. That is crazy depth right there.
Yeah. I think that does hamstring them. To lose Mitoma and Minamino and Endo, those were some of their best attackers.
But do
Outside
you
of
notice how they still play the same way? The level doesn't drop that much. The floor, like they
Yes.
don't have a weak link.
No. And that's credit to their technical development.
Ooh, like they're moving the ball well. They are disorganizing this very good Dutch defense.
Yeah.
The question is, are they going to have a guy that actually puts the ball in the back of the
Oh,
net? Right, that's what it
that
is.
was so close. Yeah, can they score goals? Right? That's the big question. The Scots singing their national anthem was awesome. Yeah, honestly, of all the UEFA nations, I think Scotland and Norway are the 2 that I wouldn't mind seeing go far because they're very likable, the Scots, and they hate England like we do. So we have something in common with them. I think for me, those are the more likable UEFA teams: Norway and Scotland. I would like to see them do well. Everybody else, I'll just cheer against them. The Scots seeing their dude, honestly, I know they won 7-1 today. Did you watch the Germany game?
Mm-hmm.
I was really not that impressed with Germany.
No, the fact that they conceded a goal.
To Curacao?
Yeah, I need to see how they do against. I want to see how because Germany has 2 good teams in their group. Like Ivory Coast and Ecuador are tough teams.
Yeah.
I want to
And
see.
everyone's going to just beat up on Curacao.
Yeah, well, not Ecuador. They're gonna score like 2 goals because they don't score a lot. But Ecuador could very well just beat Curacao 2-0, and they could also beat Germany 1-0.
Yeah.
Um,
So can USMNT become Belgium 2018 or Morocco of 2022? I think Belgium of 2018 is actually very doable because remember, Belgium made it to the quarterfinal and then they lost to Argentina, right? But for us to make a quarterfinal, now we have to win 2 group games.
no. Which Belgium you're talking about? 2018?
Oh, no, 2018, no. No, they got 3rd place. I mean,
No,
look, I
no,
don't
and
want to say
and they smashed Brazil, dude. Like they
I don't
didn't.
want to say no, but I can't see our back line being good enough to go to a semifinal. Honestly, I would take
No,
a quarterfinal all day long. I would take a quarterfinal. With this back line, whenever we come up against any tricky wingers or speedy wingers, I have so little faith until
well,
this team shows me something different.
We have to see how we hold against Australia in transition. Also, they have fast players up top.
Yeah, and that's just Australia. Imagine going up against Belgium again.
We better hold a clean sheet against them. You have to hold a clean sheet
Australia,
against.
we have to.
Yeah,
We need to do that. It's getting ridiculous at this point. Japan is technical because of their anime soccer school, Blue Lock. I mean, I
definitely
think
not.
Japan's technical because they have put a lot of emphasis in youth development for the last 30 years now, and now they're reaping the benefits of it. The next step for Japan is, can they get a truly world class player? Right? That's kind of the next step for Japan, which they haven't really done yet. They have a lot of elite players, and that's a good balance across the board. But can they get a world class player? That's going to what I think is going to be very interesting. Japan, and does Japanese culture lend itself to the development of a world class player? That's what I'm very curious about. Right? To be a world class player, you have to have a certain amount of arrogance. And I just don't know that Japanese culture is great at breeding arrogance because they value humility, they value the collective above the individual. And that's even in the way their team plays. You see it a lot. Even though there's a lot of very good players, it's a very collective approach to the game. And I wonder, with Japanese culture, does it encourage and allow players freedom to express themselves? And that might be what stops them from developing a truly world-class player.
I think eventually they will, just because they've raised the floor so much. So it's bound to happen at some point. But it can't be an accident, right? It has to be something consistent.
Yeah.
Like
Dutch
accidentally.
American here. Hup, Holland, hup. Als het niet orange is, dan is het niets. Total football time. I probably butchered all of that, but thank you, Chippy Van, and good luck.
This Dutch team is not bad, dude, but it's crazy because I obviously don't know the Dutch of the set. I know, but I didn't watch. I wasn't around for the Dutch in the 70s. But the Dutch in the 2000s and early 2010s, that was a different level up top.
Yeah, completely different level. I mean, look, Daniel Malin, if that's your nine, I just don't know that that's like World Cup winning level nine. Their midfield is crazy good. Van Dijk, I think he's lost it a little bit. I mean, he's still very good, but he's not the Van Dijk from like even 3 years ago.
I mean, these guys had Robin, Schneider, Van Persie. A little bit before that, Ruud van Nistelrooy. It's not close. I'm trying to remember who else they had in that World Cup final they made in 2010.
Well, Schneider, they had
Robin,
Robin. Was
Van
Van der Vaart
Persie.
there?
Probably a backup. He was a backup, I
I think he
think.
was a backup at that point.
Yeah, but what's
Van
his name?
Persie.
Van Persie was incredible.
Yeah.
Let
They
me
got
see.
so close. Van der Sar was their goalkeeper. Edwin van der Sar was very good.
Let me see.
Giovanni van Bronckhorst. Was he still there? Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he scored a beautiful goal in that World Cup. So
Giovanni van Bronckhorst.
they had Dirk Kuyt also. He was a hardworking
Dirk Kuyt,
winger.
yeah, from
Kuyt, yeah.
Liverpool.
Van Bommel, he was
Van
good.
Brommel,
Mark
Mark
Van
Van
Bommel.
Brommel, yeah. He was very good too.
Yeah, I checked here. Van der Vaart
Huntelaar.
was coming off the bench.
Klaus-Jan Huntelaar also.
Also coming off the bench, yeah. Now the
Oh
Dutch
yeah,
have
Van der
more.
Sar. Oh, they're saying Mark Stecklenburg was the keeper. That's right. It wasn't Van der Sar. Van der Sar was in 06.
Yes. Yeah, they're right. Because that goalkeeper Stecklenburg made a beautiful save against Brazil when Kaká had a shot that could have given Brazil a 2-0 lead. What do you think? I'm gonna do a
Yeah, I
stream.
remember watching that game. 2-1.
So
Bullet
I'm gonna do
header.
a stream, Pete, for Ecuador and Ivory Coast. Who do you think's gonna win that one?
It's tough because I don't really know either of these teams that well. And they both look pretty good.
Yeah, dude. I was looking at Ivory Coast and some of the players I didn't even know they had, but like for example, they do have Ian Diamonde. He plays for them, right? He's one of the
Yeah,
best wingers in
yeah.
wingers in what's the name in the Bundesliga? What's his name? Also, that other guy they have, Adingra. I think he played for Brighton. That was with Monaco. We've seen him. Amad Diallo also plays for them. They have a
Yeah.
lot going for us. Sangare from Nottingham Forest. He's from the Ivory Coast. Kessié. Now he's at Al Ahly, right? But he played in the Prem. Um,
They also just beat, not that it matters as much because it's a friendly, but they did just beat France in a friendly 2-1.
yeah,
But I think Ecuador is going to be very tough to break down. I think probably a draw attack. That's my guess.
1-1 maybe.
Yeah.
The thing with this group is if they draw, that's not that bad because all they have to do is like trash Curacao and they advance. So
Yeah. Yeah.
like if these teams tie each other, that's not a bad result. You just have to beat Curacao after.
These teams with like one really bad team in the group, it's an easy third place for them because you just beat up on them and that helps you get one draw and then you beat up on Curacao and you're very likely through.
That's why I don't like this whole third place advancing thing. Um,
No, it's weird. Yeah.
I I personally think if you're gonna go that route, just have every third place team advance in every group, all of them,
Yeah.
and then have a wild card playoff. And the other teams that are first and second, they get a bye. So you add an
Yeah.
extra game. Because if you advance in third, you don't deserve like more than that. You get a wild card, they play each other, eliminate a few of them, and then boom.
Yeah. Are the Dutch the pot one team? Yeah, I think they were. No,
No, they were not pot one. No, wait,
they
hold on,
weren't.
hold on. They were, yeah, they were. Sorry,
Yeah.
they were.
Japan was pot two.
Yeah, yeah. Look, the FIFA ranking right there. They're number 8.
Okay. If Europe and South America are at 100% with scouting and development, where do you put Africa, Asia, and North America? I mean,
Hmm.
not even nowhere near close. I don't even know that Europe and South America are at 100%, but they're probably close.
No, no, I think he's put a scenario as if they are 100%. That's what he's saying, I think. Let's say they're the
Oh,
maximum. So what would you put them? So Africa's an interesting one. I think in terms of youth development, Africa's close to zero. The thing is they have the culture. That is why they develop those players. The development on its own, Africa is not doing a good job. I think even Morocco,
a lot
isn't
of
it
them are
like
Spanish
isn't
and
like one
Dutch.
I think one player that started yesterday was born in Morocco and developed there. Everyone
Yeah.
else was from abroad. North America, very poor. There's attempts to develop players, but not great. Also depends on the country.
It's
Like,
little pockets here and there. It's tiny little
yeah,
pockets.
Asia is really big, dude, and it depends on the country. It's very different. Like you
Yeah.
go to Japan versus like India, it's the polar opposite.
Yes. So like Japan, South Korea for sure. A lot of the Arab countries, they also have the culture because they love football. They love soccer. But again, the development is not great in a lot of those places. Japan and Korea are the two that have really put the emphasis on development. Australia is trying a little bit, but they're so far from Japan and South Korea in that regard. Um, I think Australia getting dual nats is really helping them. Like they got Chirkati, they got Volpato. I think they're going to start getting a few more dual nats, and that's where they can focus. China, India, the two biggest. Indonesia is starting to make some noise in soccer. We'll see how it goes for them. But yeah, scouting and development in most of the world is getting better, but it's still very poor. Um, and the US is probably one of the worst for being the sporting country that we are. We are getting better as a team. We're getting more talent for sure. But there's so much talent here that we're not finding and not developing and actually actively pushing away from the game for sure. Okay. Can you summarize what happened with Turkey versus Austria? So Turkey had most of the ball the entire time. They didn't really penetrate. Australia mostly stayed in a low block, defended well, um, you know, and then they got two like goals in transition.
Which
Sir,
honestly,
what's your
it's the only
opinion?
way. I was gonna say
No,
that's
but
how.
like
Sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say that's how Australia can play. I can't see them actually playing with the ball and disorganizing the
No,
opponent.
they play to their strengths. They play to that. They've always been that way. Australia, plucky, difficult to break down, physical, throw their body on the line for everything, and hope to get a result. Now, look, that doesn't work in the long term, right? You can't develop a bunch of physical players who don't have a very high level of technique and hope to go very far in a World Cup if you don't have any talent. You need some talent. Now, with Toure and Irankunda, they have two very good counter-attacking players there. So we just have to be very wary of them. But if Australia wants to be like, look, Australia was what the US was 10, 15 years ago. And I think that if they want to be taken seriously in World Cup soccer, they're going to have to start developing players, right? They're going to have to start doing what the US started doing 10 years ago and is still learning how to do consistently. Oh, yeah. New Zealand is even worse. I think New Zealand.
Oh, Japan? Nope, nope. Someone has to shoot, dude. You have to shoot. Did Pete freeze? You froze for a second, but you're back.
Yeah, I'm back.
So, how do you think the Cambodians are doing today?
We had a lot of Cambodian super chats yesterday. People making.
Guys, stop spamming. Stop spamming the same question. You're going to end up getting blocked or banned.
Aryan Pandey. He's a good cricketer, but don't spam that, okay?
So far, pretty even game, right?
Yeah, nobody's really created anything super meaningful except for that one Daniel Malin shot. Been kind of dull, actually.
A lot of possession.
A lot of possession, a lot of very measured, slow, trying to break each other down.
It's funny because sometimes games with like higher quality teams, you get something more like this. And then you get a game with lower quality and sometimes it's more exciting. The game is better.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, cleared.
Is that Somerville playing?
Yeah, Serencio Somerville's on the right. Remember him from Leeds?
Yeah, he wasn't good with Leeds.
No, he was not.
Where does he play now? West Ham. Oh, he got relegated with West Ham.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm going to do England versus Croatia, guys. England versus Croatia. I'm going to do.
The drop-off is insane. Somerville, Malin. For a team that had
I mean, look, the midfield is very good, and Cody Gakpo is still a very good player. But yeah, compared to Dutch teams of the past, for sure. It's kind of like Brazil, right? I know they've got Vini Jr. and Rafinha who are very good, but other than that, is there any like great player? I mean, I guess Marquinhos is an incredible defender. But even like,
I mean,
what's his name?
Magalhães starts for Arsenal. He won the Premier League and was in the Champions League final. He can't be bad,
The other
right?
defender.
Yeah, Gabriel Magalhães.
Gabriel for sure. But I mean, like in the past, you remember Brazil for the incredible attacking players, you know, like Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, guys like that. Feels like you have Vini and Rafinha, but other than that,
shit also.
Why did Ancelotti not play Endrick at all?
I don't know. He just really picks on the guy. And then he played that guy, Igor Thiago. I swear, he's worse than Balogun. I would take
From
Balogun
Brentford,
there.
right?
Yeah, he's not good, dude. Like,
dude, how can Brazil be starting a striker from Brentford? Like,
I don't know. Like, he benched Cunha.
Why?
I don't know. No one understood it. And he was horrible, the guy. No one gets it.
Someone here saying Marquinhos hardly shows up for Brazil, though. Tack. Every time I hear of Marquinhos now, I can't. There was somebody at the TST, not this year, but last year, who was convinced that this local Botafogo defender was better than Marquinhos. And he was saying this on the day that Marquinhos won the Champions League.
Not Botafogo, Flamengo. The defender's there. Flamengo. He's the backup. He's there.
He's the backup, sure, for Marquinhos.
Yeah. It's because Marquinhos for Brazil, he's been very error prone. So I get it why people get pissed off at Marquinhos, but you cannot start him, guys. He's won the last two Champions League as the captain for PSG. You cannot not
Yeah,
start him.
there's no way.
Like you don't win the Champions League twice as the starter and captain of the team by accident.
Someone says apparently Marquinhos is a dual nat with Cambodian citizenship.
No, he's not, but he's not playing for the US. I thought Cambodians had an issue with the US. They hate Brazil too?
Maybe. Who knows? All right, here comes the Netherlands. To be fair, Netherlands has had a lot more of the ball. They just haven't been able to break Japan down.
Yeah, both sides when they've had the ball, they've held it well, but they don't really do anything with it.
Japan are really defending in a 5-3-2. Yeah, it's a 3-4-2-1 that turns into a 5-3-2.
They're probably trying to counterattack, dude, because that Dutch defense is not fast.
No,
That's
especially
what
with
they're
Van
trying to
Dijk.
do. They just haven't really gotten a quick counterattack.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
also missing some of their quicker players.
uh-huh. Because that's not a good like Van Dijk is not fast. Was never fast, right? On the
No.
turn. He's
Oh,
slower than ever.
Japan gave it up. Come on, Malin. No, that casual guy 23. By the way, didn't Australia beat Japan parking the bus? No, that you're thinking of Costa Rica. I mean, maybe they did in the Asian Cup. I don't know.
No, but I would say, yeah, overall so far in these 33 minutes, not by much. It's been pretty even, but slight advantage for the Dutch so far in terms of save by Suzuki. Very nice save from Zion Suzuki there from a header.
Oh, I mean, it kind of came right at him, but he stayed up. Oof. All right. Still 0-0.
It came right at him, but you never know with like Matt Turner and Matt Freeze.
Yeah, dude. Or they spill it right out to the feet of another striker.
Sometimes it goes right at him.
The Dutch out here playing Berhalter ball.
Did you see the name of the Curacao coach?
Dick Advocat.
Yes.
Yeah. Dude, he used to be a very famous Dutch coach. I think he even coached the Netherlands at some point.
I don't remember.
This was way back. This was before what's his name?
Louis van
Who's that
Gaal.
Dutch? Van Gaal, yeah.
35 minutes. I always loved the Dutch uniform though. Orange. Different,
Yeah,
unique.
it looks cool. And it's like electric orange too. It's like
Yeah.
fluorescent orange.
They've been a bit better than Japan. Yeah. Japan seems to be missing a little bit of that quality to actually counterattack.
That's the thing. Japan are not that deep. Like the drop off from their special players is definitely there. Like Endo, Mitoma, Minamino. They still have some good players, but it is a difference, right? Tack and Pete, would you rather play against Japan or Belgium in the quarterfinals? Honestly, Japan. I think Belgium's wingers match up really poorly with us. Like, I feel better about us trying to keep Daizen Maeda quiet and Kubo quiet than I do trying to keep, what's his name from
But we
Man
don't
City.
match with Japan's group.
No, we don't match with them.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably pick Japan, but it's just like we don't match with their group.
Doku, thank you. Yeah, Doku. Doku worries me. Even Salamakers worries me. Anybody running at Ream worries me.
Dude, the way Tim Ream is slow these days, Joao from our TST team would worry me if he's running at Ream. I
Yeah,
don't think Ream catches him.
no. I wish we got Noah Kai Banks. Yeah, you and me both. You and me both, but can't hang on to someone who doesn't want you. Hey Pete, sorry I didn't make it to the Fan Fest this morning. I was called in to work early this morning, needed to cover for a colleague. No worries, man. No worries. I'll catch you at the next one. Are we ever getting Banks? Look, I think what's going to happen is in a year from now, when Banks realizes he probably isn't going to play for Germany, or if he does, it'll be as like a Nations League roster pick. He might change his mind and try to come back and play for the US. But I think if he does that, it's going to be very hard to convince a lot of people. Because it's not like Balogun, who did kind of wait to see if he was good enough for England, right? But he was always English. Whereas Banks played with our youth teams. He went to an under 17 World Cup. He talked about how excited he was to represent the US. And then as soon as Germany got in his ear, he was like, oh, actually, I don't know. So I think it's going to be hard if he waits a year or two, right? And goes, like, dude, we could have used you in a home World Cup. That's the chance of a lifetime. And you didn't want that.
I wouldn't bring him anymore, to be honest. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. But I know a lot of people are going to disagree.
Because I also want to say this: if he ever does choose to play for us, that just means he wasn't good enough for Germany. That's the truth.
Which is fine. We'll take players that are not good enough for Germany. But it's like, do you think a guy who never really wanted to play for us is going to go to El Salvador and give his all? I'm not so convinced.
No.
Right? If he never really wanted to play for you.
Like the fact that he the fact that he even thought about it when we had a World Cup at home. He shouldn't even think about it. It's like you're called in. It's like boom, I'm there.
Yeah.
The fact that that was even a question in his mind to me is insane.
Yeah. But
Because I'll
that's
say this.
okay. If you feel that strongly about Germany that you would rather wait for Germany than go play in a World Cup with the USA, then you don't want to represent the USA, and that's fine.
But say
Go,
it.
yeah.
Man up to it and say it.
No, that's
Say,
the
hey,
problem. He's going, I don't know. I have to think about it. No, you don't. I mean, look, if your option is maybe Germany might call me up one day, or the US is calling me up to play in a home World Cup, and you have to think about it, come on. That's just translation for I don't want to represent the US.
yeah, he should literally just say it. It's like, listen, guys, I want to play for Germany. If they want me, I'm going to play for them. But hey, if they don't want me and you guys are still open for it, I can play for you guys later on. Just say it.
Yeah.
That is one thing that pissed me off a little bit about Obed Vargas, for example,
Yeah.
because he was playing for the US, acting all proud of it about it, and never mentioned anything, right? And then all of a sudden he's like, boom, I always wanted to play for Mexico.
Yeah.
Dude, just say it. Like
Well,
this
if
whole
you
thing.
always wanted to play for Mexico, then you shouldn't have taken a youth national team spot from somebody else. That's the problem.
Exactly. So essentially, you were a
Same with
mercenary.
Esmir, actually. Esmir got a senior team call up, and he said the
Uh
same
huh.
thing. I always wanted to represent Bosnia. And it's like,
Japan on
dude,
the counterattack. Mm, nope,
ooh,
nothing out of
Maeda.
it. Yeah, Izmir did the same thing. It's like they. I would be embarrassed to use any country in that sense.
Yeah.
Embarrassed. Also, it just shows how weak mentally you are. You don't believe in yourself. Like if you want to play for Mexico, like Obed, say it
Yeah,
out loud. Say it out loud. It's like, hey, I don't want to play for the US. I want Mexico, so I'm waiting for Mexico to call me up. That's what I want.
that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't accept youth national team call-ups if you have no intention of playing for the senior team. If you're just using it to get, because a lot of them use it because the scouts will watch youth national team games. So they use it as a platform to get their next move. And then they go, okay, I want to, represent Mexico.
Mir did the same to get Bosnia's attention.
Yeah.
They're saying it's business. You can't burn your bridges. It's not business, the national team. The business are the clubs. National
Yeah.
team used to mean something, right? That's what I'm saying. There's a difference. Like, you guys are going to say, oh, national teams also. It's not. The business part of soccer, true. Obviously, FIFA monetizes everything, the federations monetize it. But the playing for your country, it goes above and beyond that. Oh, Japan almost scored.
Oh, just wide. Just wide.
They're saying Izmir always had Bosnia's attention. He wanted to be in the Olympic team. When Matko snubbed him for the Serbian American, his family took it personally. I'm sorry that I don't buy into that bullshit.
No, Marco snubbed him because he knew he always wanted to represent Bosnia. That's why
Well,
he snubbed him.
also, if you want to represent the U.S., it's not going to be the snub of one coach that you're like, I'm done. I'm done with this.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, he didn't want to. Let's call a spade, please.
Also, he'd already been called up to the senior team by Greg Berhalter
Mm-hmm.
and played really well in that January camp. He was already getting senior team attention.
No, but even so, just guys, just put yourself in his position, right? You really want to play for the US. That's your dream. And then a random coach from a youth tournament snubs you. You're like, oh, I'm done with the United States. I hate this country. Like,
Yeah.
what? I'm sorry. That doesn't make any sense. Japan again. Shoots. I thought that was a goal for a second.
Mm.
I thought that was a goal for a second. Hit the side net. Hey, two dangerous plays for Japan in like what, 2 minutes?
Yeah. Came alive.
Van Dijk, dude, look how slow he was to
I'm telling you,
react.
he's so slow now.
He was nowhere near to block the shot, dude. They should just lob long balls there. Did you see the play already?
Yeah, I'm watching it. Yeah, he's
Well,
very slow to recover.
yeah, he was well behind. If the Japanese player hit it on target, it would have been on target. He's not blocking that. I would say after these two chances, it's pretty even in terms of like chances created for both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been even. And honestly, it's been a little dull.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said Virgil showing his Cambodian roots. Oh. Virgil looking like Reem. Like it or not, teams, nation, players all consider career and money making decisions. That is true. But here's the problem. If you don't want to what do you think is better for somebody's career? To represent the United States at a home World Cup? Or maybe one day get called up to a German Nations League roster and not play? Because that's honestly probably Noah Kai Banks' level. Honestly, if it was about what was best for marketing and career, representing the US would be the best decision, hands down. Like, for sure. To play at a home World Cup in this country with this economic power, it would do miracles for his marketing and for his brand. But he doesn't want to, and that's fine. The problem is that he accepted all these USA youth call-ups and then was like, I'm so excited to like go play for, play with this team and represent the US and go far at a World Cup. And then Germany goes, hey, barely a whisper from Germany. And all of a sudden he's like, and refuses a World Cup call-up. Like, you got to be kidding me. I just don't believe you ever want to represent the US if you refuse a World Cup call-up. Virgil van Riem, exactly. There's no guarantee that Poch would have played Banks. There's no guarantee of anything, but he would be at the World Cup.
Well, there's also no guarantee that Germany will ever call him up. So he took
He has a much higher chance of playing for the US than he ever does of Germany. And by the way, if Germany wants to get younger after this World Cup, they've got Finn Jelch and Karim Koulibaly who are ahead of him and also starting teenagers in the Bundesliga.
Saved by Zion Suzuki again.
Yeah, we do have a few center backs prospects coming up. It's just hard to know how they're gonna pan out, right? There's a couple of options here. Josh Winder, I'm getting kind of sick of him, to be honest. This dude won't leave Benfica just endlessly. You're 21 years old now. You're still playing in Benfica's B team. You've made no progress in 3 years. So at some point, he needs to figure out what the hell's going on with him. Ethan Kohler is starting for the New England Revolution at 20 years old, which is not bad for a center back. Going to monitor him. Ian James at Sporting KC is 17 and starting for them. Now they have a terrible defense, but he's got all the tools to be an elite center back. Neil Pierre needs to get out of Lyngby and come back to the Philadelphia Union, where I actually think they could really use him. Christopher Cups, Berhalter has decided is not good enough for the Chicago Fire this year. There's a kid named Ramiz Hamuda who is going to Werder Bremen. He's a center back from Birmingham in USL. Played for us in the Under-17 World Cup. So he's going to Werder Bremen this summer. And then you've also got Andre Curia, American-Romanian center back over at Cincinnati, who's actually got a lot of starts for them, left-footed, and a very good passer of the ball. Very interested in seeing Andre Curia. They've actually looked better with Andre Curia in their back three than they have with Miles Robinson. So those are just a few off of the top of my head, but there are, I'm sure, more.
By the way, first half ended for everyone.
Yeah, first half is over. Tack, I'm going to quickly run to the restroom.
I'll read this one. Kai is saying Cristiano Ronaldo's defense, his teammates for Portugal were not that good in his prime. If he had these teammates, they might have won the World Cup. Well, you're right. The 06 team, that wasn't prime Ronaldo. He was already very good. He was one of the best in the world, but it wasn't prime Ronaldo. The 06 Portugal team is very good. I can look it up again. 2006 Portugal. They made it to the semis. That team had Ricardo on goal. He was great. Luis Figo was in that team. Cristiano Ronaldo, Pauleta. He was a forward for PSG. Deco. Remember Deco or Deco from Barcelona? Brilliant player. Maniche from Chelsea. Petit. Ricardo Carvalho. The 06 team that Portugal had was really freaking good. Like close to this one, maybe a little bit better. Now, let me see. 2010 was already the beginning of Ronaldo's prime. Let me remember Portugal squad or roster. Let's see who was in their roster in 2010. Because that one right there, I'm trying to bring it up here. Pete, you're back? Okay.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about the Portugal thing. I said the 2006 Portugal, it wasn't prime Ronaldo, but that team was really strong. The 2006 Portugal. Now, the 2010, 2014,
fourth, right?
Sorry, what?
They got fourth.
Yeah, and then 2010, 2014, and 2018 Portugal. Um, that was probably Ronaldo's prime years. Those three World Cups. The team wasn't great as the one that it is right now in '06, but it wasn't terrible. Also, I'll put it
No.
that way. Um, I don't blame him for not winning the World Cup because it would be tough to win with those players. But the guy also never scored a knockout goal.
Yeah, that is true.
So I can't blame him for not winning it, but we should also say it. He probably should have done better throughout World Cups.
I mean, he won the Euros with Portugal in 2016, right? He didn't play the
Yeah.
final, but he won the
He
Euros.
started the final, but he was injured like right as it started, I think.
Yeah. He
But
won the Euros. He made it to a Euro final against Greece when he was like 18 in 2004.
yeah, and they lost in the
They
final at
lost.
home. But the final of the Euro in 2016 when they won it, I remember that day. I was in Vegas. Everyone was betting on France, and I bet on Portugal. And then when Ronaldo was injured right away, I'm like, screw it, I lost it. And they were the underdogs because they were way worse than France.
Yeah.
And somehow they pulled that one. Who scored the goal? Was it like Edgar or something?
I don't remember who
It's
scored
a
it, actually.
random dude, I think, called Edgar. Let me see. Edir. Edir. A
Eder.
random Edir scored.
Yeah.
Let me
Dude,
see the
Greece
lineup.
winning the Euros is crazy
No, but
because
look at
none of
this.
their players were good. After that, nothing happened to any of those players. None of them went anywhere after that.
They didn't even qualify to the World Cup. Um,
No.
but look at this. Look at Portugal's team. Rui Patricio on goal. They had Pepe on defense, but then the defense was Cedric, Pepe, Fonte, and Guerreiro. I only know Pepe and Guerreiro. I forgot the other guys. William Carvalho was the central defensive midfielder.
He's good.
Um,
He was good. He was a Chelsea level player.
yeah, it was okay, but like to win the Euros with these guys, Renato Sanchez that never lived up to the expectations.
No.
Andre Silva, João Mario,
Nani?
and then Nani and Ronaldo up top. Now look at France. Umchichi was the defender. Hugo Lloris, Patrice Evra, Sagna, Pogba, and Matuidi, the double pivot. That's
Yeah.
freaking good.
Yeah.
Antoine Griezmann, Payet was very good. Sissoko and Olivier Giroud. And off the bench, they had Gignac, Anthony Martial, Koeman, Conte was on the bench. No Kylian Mbappe. Yeah, Mbappe came up in 2018. Yeah, that was his.
18. Yeah. That was his big breakout. That's why when people say, just going back to Greece winning the Euros, that's why when people say, "Oh, Italy won the Euros in 2022," which proves that they are still a big soccer nation, I'm like, no, that was a outlier for Italy. It was an outlier, and it was also very much based on Chiellini and Bonucci having the tournament of their lives right before they retired. So Italy is a whole different story. But like winning the Euros is good for sure, but it doesn't cement your place as like being a top team.
Isn't it crazy how in the history of soccer, you've had upsets or dark horses win the Euro, even the Copa America. You never had one win the World
World
Cup.
Cup. Yeah.
Never. Never a dark horse. I think the closest we've gotten to that, let's try to look at finals. Croatia winning in 2018 would have been a dark horse winning it. Croatia.
Yes. They were
Um,
so close, the closest anyone ever came.
was there ever a dark horse that reached the final? Because I don't consider the Dutch a dark horse in 2010, for example. That's not a dark horse.
No. They had the talent to win it for
They
sure.
also have made it to two finals before in the past. That's not like a random nation. I'm trying
Not
to
in
think.
recent years, not since I've watched the World Cup, which started in 98. 98 was my first World Cup. So since anybody who's in the final was definitely could have won it for
I'm
sure.
looking here at finals. Also, let's consider from 1970 beyond, right? Because if you go to like 1962 and you say, "Oh, Czechia was in the final," but back then they also made it to the final in 34, so that wasn't a dark horse. They were really good back then. From
Yeah.
1970 beyond, we had Germany, Netherlands, Argentina, Netherlands, Italy, Germany, Argentina, Germany, Germany, Argentina, Brazil, Italy, France, Brazil, Brazil, Germany, Italy, France, Spain, Netherlands, Germany, Argentina, France, Croatia. Yeah, literally only Croatia was the one that got the
Croatia
closest.
is the only dark horse to make a final. You had
Mhm.
Turkey and South Korea make a semi in 2002, but not the final.
Someone said Sweden. Well, that was 1958, guys. It's kind of hard to
Also,
know
there
about
was
that.
only 16 teams in the World Cup back then.
Yeah, and they hosted it too.
I would say you have to get start with the 32 team World Cup. When did that start? That
That
started
was
in the
98
90s,
though. That was 98.
98.
I think we can start in 1970 because then you already have a few World Cup winners. And if you go from 1970 beyond, it was always the same teams all the time.
Yeah. No, I really want a new winner this World Cup. And I think the only chances, I think it's unlikely, but the only ones who have a chance are Portugal, the Netherlands, and maybe Colombia. Maybe. But
But
I
even
think
even
even
the
then,
Netherlands and Colombia, it's not super realistic, right? You're like giving 1%, right? Like something
yeah,
small.
it's a small chance. It's a small chance. I mean, unless, look, if France implodes at some point, which could happen, now it's Spain and then it's wide open, right? Spain can have a bad day. So then it could be, it's wide open. Brazil has a shot. Argentina, personally, I don't think has a shot to win. Uh, Germany, I don't think has a shot to win. England, I don't think. Maybe Belgium, but I just don't quite see it with Belgium. Norway's a dark horse to go deep. I feel like Norway is like Morocco. Because of their talent, they're a dark horse to go deep, but not a dark horse to win it. That's how I see it.
Yeah, like to win the World Cup, it takes something more than just having Erling Haaland and good players around him. You need a little bit more.
Yeah. Also, you need, on top of all that, you still need some luck. Look at Germany. Last two World Cups didn't get out of their group, right?
Yeah, I
Even
think
really good
also
teams sometimes don't get out of their group.
World Cup experience also matters. No one from Norway has ever played. None of these players have ever played in the World Cup. All of that plays a role. Um,
Yes.
right? Like
I
like
mean,
for
also,
example,
if you look at even in this World Cup, some of the teams that haven't come in a long time, like it's been 20 years since they've been at a World Cup, like Paraguay and Turkey, disaster opening games.
mhm.
Disaster.
Yeah, because after you've played once as a player, as the coaching staff, everything, you start to know how to prepare, how things are gonna go. It's just different. It's like every. I'll give you an example of something very silly. The TST, right? We went there for the first time last year. This year, I know you couldn't make it, but it was a completely different experience of who we brought, how to plan logistics. We understand how the tournament works. Everything changes after you know for the first time. So the World Cup is not that different. You play it once and you understand how the competition works, logistics, everything about it. Also, you don't get as nervous because you already been there, done it. It is how it is. In Norway, they haven't played a World Cup since when? Like 98? That was the last time?
Yeah, 98.
Yeah, so none of these players ever played in a World Cup, the current ones. When the second half starts, I think I'm gonna go downstairs and just watch the game
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
relax, and get ready because I'm gonna do the stream after also for Ecuador. So the second
Yeah.
half, I'm just gonna chill and rest.
Why is Japan parking the bus? I mean, they're not fully parking the bus. Like, parking the bus to me is if you never venture out of your own half and you just sit back the entire time. Japan are doing that in phases of the game when the Netherlands has a lot of possession, but they're not parking the bus the whole game long. They're just, Netherlands is going to have a lot of the ball and you have to be very compact in how you defend. I actually admire it because then you have a chance to break also.
Yeah, it's also they're just soaking pressure and trying to counterattack. It's a
Yeah.
strategy. Parking the bus is what we've seen like Diego Simeone do with Atletico Madrid.
Yeah. Or Australia yesterday.
Yes, yes. That is like parking the bus. It's like you just like I don't care about attacking. I'll counterattack. Okay. No, no. Here's the thing. I think people will visualize it a bit better. Australia yesterday, when they would get the ball, they would attack with like two or three players sometimes.
Yeah.
That's it. Japan is actually when they take the ball, they did counterattack once or twice, but they're usually trying to build it and disorganize the Dutch with the ball, try to create something. That is not parking the bus. But yeah, Australia, they were attacking like two dudes the whole game.
Yeah. Okay, Aryan, you keep going off about Virat Kohli. Listen, I know who Virat Kohli is. This is a soccer stream. We're not talking about cricketers here. If you keep spamming, I'm going to have to block you. Okay? It's a soccer stream. I know you probably think he's a god and he's a very good cricketer, and that's awesome. But if all you're doing is talking about Virat Kohli in the chat on a soccer stream, you're in the wrong place. Okay?
Yes, I'm fascinated by your admiration of him, but I mean, we just don't care. I hate to be blunt.
No. Someone's asking, which channel are you doing the Ecuador Ivory Coast game on?
Oh, Tactical Manager. Yeah, Tactical Manager.
On Tactical Manager.
I'm probably gonna do most streams at Tactical Manager just because it just has a much bigger audience. Just Brazil, that I'll keep it at Chappelle because that's the niche. It's just much bigger, the audience there. So I'm just gonna do it at Tactical Manager. It's also I try to do the collab thing, Pete. Apparently you're not able to in the stream, only after it's streamed.
Oh, afterwards.
So I was like, I'll just do it at Tactical Manager and to whatever. Oh, they got Clarence Seedorf on Fox.
Oh,
I forgot they also had him. I forgot.
That's another player that, dang. Yeah. Wow. Ruud van Nistelrooy, he wasn't there in the 2010 generation. He was previous to that.
06
But man,
was his
the
last World Cup.
Dutch. Freddie Lundberg. No, Freddie Lundberg was Swedish. Dennis, what's his name? The Arsenal.
Dennis Bergkamp.
Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp. Another very good player.
It's saying, okay, guys, disrespect Virat Kohli as much as you want. We're not disrespecting him. We just don't care.
You're just in the wrong place for Virat Kohli. Praise singing.
Yeah, the same way we won't care about Tom Brady here also. Don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody here cares about Virat Kohli. And I watched Virat Kohli win the World Cup with India, the Cricket World Cup in 2010. Great cricketer. This is not the place.
I'm sure he's great. We just don't care.
Yes.
I actually don't know a single cricket player.
I know a few from my time in India. And I know some older ones like Shane Warne used to be a fast bowler or whatever. It's basically baseball, dude, except instead of running around a diamond, you run back and forth along the strip. It's essentially the same sport.
Well, if it makes him feel better, I also don't know much about baseball, even growing up here in the US. Know a lot about basketball. Football, I follow more. Not more than basketball, but more than like, oh my goodness. Japan, a little shaky there to start.
Oof. Second half has started, guys. Crossed. Couldn't quite clear. David Wheatley. I honestly have no idea the answer to this question. Who do you see as a realistic replacement for U.S. soccer to hire for Matt Crocker? I don't know. Tack, you mentioned once that it should be someone who actually cares about the development of U.S. soccer. But just because someone's American doesn't mean they're necessarily going to care about the development of U.S. soccer, right? They might care about promoting MLS. They might care about business partnerships with Garber and his boys. Doesn't mean they're actually going to care just because they're an American. We see a lot of American shills.
I think like Tab Ramos or Hugo Perez would be good options there.
They would care.
They would care. They seem to have the right idea of how to go about it. It doesn't mean their idea is perfect and they're going to get it right away, but it seems like their overall train of thought is the right one. And I think if they stay there for long enough, they will improve it. I think like Tab Ramos being in a podcast is a waste. A waste of him. Like we shouldn't be using him for a podcast. That's probably where like a Tab Ramos should be. The problem is the U.S. soccer people are not going to want him.
No.
That's the problem.
They're not going to want him for sure. We'll see who they go for. I think they're not going to have one general manager. I think they're going to have two general managers. They're going to have one for the women and one for the men because they're completely different things. I think Matt Crocker being the general manager for both the women and the men was way too much. Way too much. It's a completely different world, the women's game.
Well, also the women's game in the U.S. doesn't need desperate help in development.
No.
It works well the way it is, while the man's one needs all the help it can get, all the help you can get.
Someone said Derek from Straight Red Card. Oh, the press conferences would be legendary. Imagine Derek just want to introduce this guy who's never slept with his stepsister as the new head coach. And he'd just be high the whole time.
It's like he never slept with his stepsister because he doesn't have one.
Man, this game has turned out to be kind of a snooze fest, huh? I thought it was going to be a more fun game than this.
It almost feels like both teams, they're more afraid of just losing than actually wanting to win this.
Yeah.
They're looking at this game and saying, hey, if we pull a draw here, we can just like beat Tunisia and we're through. So
yeah,
let's not risk it.
Yeah.
Pete, speaking of snooze fest, I'm gonna sit on the couch, rest a little bit for the other stream. If something happens, I might hop in still.
Okay, no worries. See you, Tack. England, we're going to ream their assholes. Derek at his press conference. I can totally see Derek saying something like that. All right. Netherlands still attacking that low block from Japan here. Cody Gakpo, 1v1. Free kick. Free kick for the Netherlands. All right. Ariane, you keep going off. I warned you. You're welcome to be here if you're going to talk about soccer, but if you're just spamming stuff about Virat Kohli, I'm going to start off by putting you in a timeout, okay? That means you can come back in a few minutes. But if you keep doing it, I'm going to ban you permanently, okay? My feed got interrupted by tornado warnings. Cross, header, goal! Netherlands. Netherlands just scored. 1-0. Oh, Virgil van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk. That's about what you would expect. Cross for the Netherlands. Virgil van Dijk heads it home. Not looking good for Japan. Not looking good for Japan. Right in off the post. Right in off the post. Moriyasu not looking pleased. So it was from the initial free kick that was won by Cody Gakpo. Then they switched it to Denzel Dumfries. Denzel Dumfries with the great ball, and he just squeezed that in off the post. Great header. Really good header. 1-0. 1-0. We've got a game. Just kissed the post and went in. Oof. Nothing you can do about that. Virgil van Dijk gets a good header. Tactical jinx. He's left and no more snooze fest. Netherlands are favorite to win the World Cup also. Don't think they're a weak team. No, they're definitely not a weak team. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think they're a favorite to win the World Cup. I think they're more of a dark horse. But to be fair, I think there are only two favorites, and that means it could be blown wide open. There's only two favorites, and it's Spain and France. I don't think Brazil's a favorite. I don't think Argentina's a favorite. I don't think Germany or England are favorites. I don't think Portugal's a favorite either. I think that the favorites are Spain and France, and everybody else are not dark horses because they're still big teams. But what would be the word? Like right after favorite, a possibility, right? They have a possibility. I'd put Netherlands in that category. They have a possibility, but they're not a favorites. Light horses. Light horses. I like that. A contender. There we go. Contender. Contender is a good one, but I like light horses too. I like light horses too. Let's say contenders. So I would put Spain and France as the favorites. And then the contenders would be Brazil, Argentina, Germany, England, the Netherlands, Portugal. I wouldn't put Belgium in there, though. I would say those six are the contenders. And then the dark horses are like Colombia, Morocco. They're like the dark horses. I'd say Colombia. I wouldn't say Norway because they have no World Cup experience. This is their first World Cup. So even though they have a talented team, I wouldn't put them in the dark horse category. I think Colombia, Morocco. Trying to think if there's other like Japan technically is a dark horse, but I do think losing those three players has definitely hurt them. Josie Altador is an analyst for Telemundo speaking Spanish. Yeah, he speaks Spanish because he lived in Spain for Villarreal, but good for him. CONCACAF Council for the World Cup soon. No, the CONCACAF Council disbanded because a lot of the analysts stopped covering their teams. And a lot of the council members, their teams aren't there. Like Eddie from Costa Rica, for example, he's not there. Josh stopped covering Canada. That was a big one. And it was always hard to find a good Mexico correspondent, although Jack would have been the guy. But then no Josh, and the guy covering Panama also quit, Rogelio. So no Canada and no Panama. It's basically just be the U.S. and Mexico because Jamaica and Costa Rica aren't there. Oh, yeah, Senegal. Definitely Senegal are also a dark horse. Senegal, Morocco, and Colombia, I would say, are the dark horses. Feels like Norway is a dark horse. It feels like that because of their talent, and they could surprise us, Mark. But I just wonder. I want to see what they look like. The thing about Norway is they've never played in a World Cup. None of this generation has any World Cup experience. And so far, the teams that don't have a lot of World Cup experience, it's showing, right? It's showing. So Haiti didn't play bad. They didn't play poorly at all. I thought they played well. But even Scotland didn't play that well, right? And then where else? I guess Paraguay, Turkey, those are the two obvious ones that come to mind. So yeah, I wouldn't put Norway as a dark horse yet, even though they have the talent technically on paper to be a dark horse. JD, yeah, I miss JD too. He was fun. Pete, you're the man. Thank you for being here. No, thank you, Andrew Cooper. Thank you for being here. All right, can Japan find an equalizer here? Coming down the left. Cross. Ooh, what was that? It was almost like he cleared it. Shot. Oh, goal. Japan from outside the box. 1-1. 1-1. Nakatoma. Oh my God, Japan goal. Tack left and this game came alive. Whoa, what a great goal for Nakatoma. 1-1. Wow. From outside the box. Let's go. Absolute dagger. Let me see this again. So he gives it inside, passes it inside. Back to him. Takes it actually further outside the box and is being closed down by Cody Gakpo. Look at this. Oh, are they going to say that Maeda was offside here? I don't know if he touched it or if he interfered with the play. That's a great question. I don't think they are. Maeda was offside for sure, but I don't think he touched it. And I don't think he interfered with the play. Oh my God, Aryan, you still did not learn. You still did not learn. Yeah, it deflected. It deflected, but it didn't touch Maeda. All right, 1-1. Denzel Dumfries. We remember him scoring against the U.S. in Berhalter era. Yeah, it was Van Heck who touched it. Maeda didn't touch it. All right, Aryan. It's been nice having you, but you didn't learn your lesson. Bye. Yeah, goal stands. Goal stands. No VAR check. Best case scenario for US is if Belgium gets second in their group, right? Yes. Yeah, I believe so. But I think Belgium's going to top that group. It's not a difficult group. But yeah, I think because then if Belgium gets first and we get first, then we would probably face Belgium in the round of 16. All right, corner for the Netherlands. Tajani Reiners takes it. Heads it down. Japan in transition. Ooh, here comes Japan in transition. Can they make anything of it? Oh, that's a bad foul. Yeah, that's a yellow. For sure. Somerville. Yellow for Serencio Somerville, for sure. Yes. Yes, Andrew Cooper. We all remember when he played at Leeds. He was not great. Pete, what did you think of Australia yesterday? Any concerns? Yeah. They're going to be tough to break down and a very physical opponent, and they're going to be good in transition. They've got some. Iran Kunda was incredible, and Toure is also going to be a real threat to our back line. But I'm feeling confident that if we play the same way we played against Paraguay, we'll get enough chances to score. We just have to make sure they don't score first. If they catch us napping and score, then it's not good. Oh, it just skipped past Maeda's ankle. They're showing the replay. I don't think it touched Maeda. I don't. I'm about 5 seconds behind the Thought Mob, guys. All right, here comes the Netherlands. All right, here comes Dumfries. Gives it to Somerville. Cuts inside. Shoots. Goal. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Netherlands. Wow. Serencio Somerville. Somerville scores. This game came alive, huh? This game came alive. Wow. Gives it here. Somerville cuts inside. Shoots. Very good finish. Also kissed the post. Both Dutch goals kissed the post. Just in off the post. Wow. All right. 2-1. That's a great way to put it, Chippy Van. Somerville doing his best Robin impression. Yeah. No, for sure. It was a very good goal from Somerville. Here come the Netherlands. Oh, they're in behind. Nobody's making the run. Gakpo cuts it back. Shoots. Multiple blocks. Good blocking from Japan there. They gave up the ball too easily, Japan. He's off. He's way off. He's 100% offside. Yeah, I'm telling you, Japan don't look the same without Minamino and Endo. They just don't look the same. Cody Gakpo. Pete, Somerville wasn't good at leads. Somerville, and I took that personally. Oh, Japan. Good shot from distance. Kubo. Oof, that was close. Shot. Oh, just too high. All right, commercial break. I'm sorry, hydration break. I'm going to have a word from our sponsor. So, FanDuel, as you know, is a sponsor of the channel. And I'm looking at these World Cup odds here. I don't see Egypt beating Belgium. I don't see Cape Verde beating Spain, but plus 2,700 is very hard to, not put money on. Then you've got Iran, New Zealand. I mean, New Zealand's not a great team. I think Iran's going to win that game. But on those odds, honestly, if you're going to put any odds, plus 600 on Senegal. If I had $10 that someone gave me and said, place it wherever you want for this next round of games, I would put it on Senegal. Because I think France is a really good team, but they also have the ability to self-implode sometimes. Not saying it's going to happen, but it could. All right, so that is FanDuel. No way you're going to complain about the commercial break, then just go ahead and run your own. Ha ha ha. What a hypocrite. Except this is not my game, buddy. This is not my game, and nobody is taking the game away from you. You can watch the TV, whereas if I'm watching the soccer game and they cut away, okay, that's a completely different thing. You can still watch the TV if you don't want to watch the sponsor. Is it just me, or are the other African nations besides Senegal and Morocco underrated? Algeria just beat the Netherlands. Ivory Coast beat France. Congo sprinkled with EPL talent. Yeah, I mean, look, having the talent is one thing, right? The other thing is delivering when it matters. Now, don't I don't think Ivory Coast are underrated. I think they're a very good team. I haven't seen a lot of Algeria, so I can't really speak to them. Congo is very interesting, though. Very interesting. How do you feel about Ivory Coast Ecuador game? Feels like a low scoring draw to me. That's what it feels like to me. I think Italy will win the World Cup just like the last three. Oh, that's so cute. Nice. Nice trolling. All right, Memphis Depay, the player that Greg Berhalter once said, we had nobody like him. We didn't have any Champions League players, even though Pulisic in that exact season had literally played more games and scored more goals in the Champions League than Memphis Depay. And Berhalter, as his big excuse for losing to the Netherlands, went, these guys like, Memphis Depay, he plays in the Champions League and we don't have any Champions League guys. Like Pulisic had not just won the Champions League the year before. All right. But honestly, that should tell you a lot about this Dutch team. The fact that they are still calling up Memphis Depay. It shows you that they haven't developed enough of the next generation of talent. Like, where's the next generation coming from? Here comes the Netherlands again. Slid in. Well done to Japan to steal it. Ooh, Kubo down. Yeah, no, Memphis Depay is still a good player. But, he's not who he used to be, right? And it does make you wonder, what's the next big Dutch nine coming from, right? Where are they coming from? All right. Come on, Japan. You can do this. 19 minutes left. Long ball over the top. Cody Gakpo chasing it down. Cuts inside. Shoot. Great save, Zion Suzuki. Great save. Was he off again? It was very close. But that was a really good save, Zion Suzuki. Whoo! Great save. Man, we're really gonna regret not getting this guy, huh? Oh! Headed, caught easily by Gakpo. I mean, by Depay. What am I saying? Suzuki. What do we think are the odds of a semifinal? Ooh, man. To get to a semifinal, we'd probably have to beat Belgium and Argentina. What are the chances of us beating both Belgium and Argentina, especially with our backline and goalkeeping situation? I would put it at less than 1%. Not 0%, but 0.5%. Did U.S. Soccer ever try to recruit Suzuki? No, we did not, which is a real shame. A real shame. No, he got the ball. Corner. All right, corner for Japan. Not really a team that typically scores a lot with their head. But let's see what they can do here. Ooh. Did you see Nathaniel Brown's goal earlier, Pete? Yes, I did. It was a great goal. Great goal. Pete, let's say we top our group and end up losing in the round of 16 to Belgium 2-1 in a hard-fought game. Would you consider that a successful World Cup for the US? No. No, I would not. Because then you just did the same things that you did. I mean, look, you can say it was successful if we won all three of our group games and played really good attacking soccer. You could argue in some ways that that's better than we've done in the past, right? And depending on who our round of 16 opponent is, it's nice to win another knockout game at the World Cup. But still, losing to Belgium again would just feel like we hit the same glass ceiling over and over again. So breaking round of 16 to me is like a successful World Cup. I think for me, if we break the round of 16 and we lose to Argentina in the quarterfinal, it'll suck, but I'll still consider it a successful World Cup. What you want to see is progress, right? You want to see progress in every 4-year cycle. And, from 2022 to 26 in the player pool, there's definitely been progress. For sure there has. But, I guess you could argue there would be progress because we won a knockout game. But, if it's Egypt or Canada, it's like, is that really progress? I don't know. Peter, are you going live tonight for the Sweden-Tunisia game at 7? No, I'm going to try not to stream more than one game a day, guys. It takes a lot. It takes a toll on your voice. Streaming. I know it's different. I did Canada-Bosnia the day of the U.S. game. And I'll probably on Friday, we'll do the US, Australia, and then there might be another one that day. Let me see what other games are that day. Tomorrow, I'm going to do Belgium versus Egypt, by the way. Belgium versus Egypt at noon tomorrow. And then on Friday, Thursday, I'm going to do Canada, Qatar. And then on Friday, it's USA, Australia, Scotland, Morocco. Ooh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do Scotland, Morocco. I might do Turkey, Paraguay that game. Like after USA, Australia, I'll probably do Turkey, Paraguay, but late that night. Cross for Japan. Headed over. Another cross. Yeah, you're not going to win 50-50 balls against the Netherlands. You're just not. US soccer needs to do better recruiting dual nats. Yeah, we definitely do. We could have had Zion Suzuki for this World Cup. Think how much different our defense would look then. Zion Suzuki. Noah Kai Banks is not on US soccer. That's not US soccer's fault. They had him in camp. They called him up to the senior team. We're going to bring him for a World Cup. That's on Noah Kai Banks. Yeah, I don't know why Japan are trying to cross the ball here. It's like, guys, that's not your game. I mean, crossing on the ground, sure. Can the U.S. still recruit Henri Chase from Japan? Yes, we can. The problem is he keeps getting injured. You know, he keeps getting injured. I think immediately after the World Cup, the two guys we should bring in, not that they're necessarily going to be elite, but I'd bring George Campbell from West Brom because we've got to retire Ream and Miles after the World Cup, right? So I think for the foreseeable future, your center backs are, oh, Japan. For the foreseeable future, it's, Richards, Alex Freeman should only be seen as a center back for the U.S., to be honest, especially if we stay in a back three. And then Austin Trusty and Mark McKenzie can stick around in the pool. But then I would bring in George Campbell and probably Justin Shea early on in the cycle and just give them looks. I don't think either of them is ever going to be an elite defender, but we need a refresh. And Campbell's 24, Che is 22. Campbell's playing well at West Brom. Che's playing well for Red Bulls. Those are the two that I would bring in with the eye on looking at some of the next generation of defenders like Andre Correa, Ian James, Ethan Kohler, Ramiz Hamuda, Josh Winder, if he can ever sort out his club situation. All right, 80 minutes, guys. Ruben Cox says, nah, I got Tim Ream 2030. Oh, my God. Yeah, midfield depth as well. Yeah, Justin Che, Steven. Justin Che. He's starting for New York Red Bulls and looking pretty good. Nathan Ake is coming on for Denzel Dumfries. Yeah, midfield depth, there are some guys obviously to watch. The two for that double pivot role is Adri Mehmeti and Snyder Brunel. Those are two to watch. And, that honestly we should bring in pretty early in the cycle. Then there's other contenders, depending on how they perform, would be Matthew Corcoran, Pedro Soma, and Brooklyn Reigns. I don't have them with as high ceilings as a Mehmeti or a Brunel, but those three look like they could be at least, depth piece contenders in the future. Neil Pierre, yeah, 100%. Neil Pierre needs to figure out what he's doing. It was this weird loan to Denmark. Bradley Carnell doesn't like young players, didn't want to play him. We'll see. He's supposed to be coming back to Philly now, and if Philly give him a shot in the second half of the season, he could be good. He could be really good. And he's still only 18 years old. Oh, nice. Oh, you guys want the timer? I'm sorry. I'm going to bring the timer back for you. Pete, don't leave YouTube for real, for real. I'm not planning to. I'm not planning to leave YouTube. I'm here at least until the end of 2026. Okay. And then after that, I'm going to decide, depending on how things are going, right? And if I can continue to sustain it. But if you'd like to keep me on YouTube and help support the channel, which literally is one of the few reasons that I'm still here, check out the Patreon. We have just uploaded the USMNT Paraguay post-game breakdown, 30 minutes long. Check that out if you want to. It really helps to support the channel, and you get a lot of amazing content that you don't get on YouTube. So check that out. Description, link is in the description below. I still feel there is a player in McGlynn. Yes, McGlynn has a very good left foot and is good with set pieces, and there's definitely something there. But if we're talking about trying to go deep in a World Cup, I don't see McGlynn as a piece of that. And here's why. McGlynn struggles when time and space are compressed. He looks like he's got an amazing left foot in MLS where you get a lot of space. But I think, and maybe if he goes to Europe and really works on it, he could be able to play a little more so when time and space are compressed. So if he leaves Houston, and there was no interest when he went to Houston from Philly. That's why they sold him for $1.5 million, which was nothing, right? So I'm not as high on McGlynn. I think if we want to be an elite team, and that's what we should be pushing for, I don't think McGlynn can be a part of that. That's my honest opinion, at least right now. I'm a lot higher on guys like Kevin Sullivan, Adri Mehmeti, Snyder Brunel. Jack McGlynn is also 22 now, I think. Going to be 23. Jack McGlynn and Diego Luna, for me, are kind of in the same place where they need to leave MLS. If they want, they're going to both stagnate if they stick around in MLS, and they need to leave. So it's up to them if they do or not. We'll see. But I'm not super optimistic about either. I am very high on Hall because to be 18 years old, I think he's really more of a poacher. But I have noticed recently in the last few Red Bulls game, he did start being a little better with his one-touch layoffs. But generally speaking, I don't consider him a super technical or speedy forward. I see Hall as a good poacher, but there is a place for good poachers, right? Ricardo Pepi is essentially a poacher, although Ricardo Pepi has better hold-up play. But at the same age, in MLS, 18 years old, Ricardo Pepi got 13 goals. I think Julian Hall already has 10 goals in all competitions this season. And we're not even halfway through the season yet. So, yeah, I am high on Hall. Let's hope he chooses us. I think he could be our third-place striker to start this next cycle if we move on from Haji Wright. Greetings from Lehigh. You think Banks will want to play for the USMNT after the World Cup? What do you think of Luma thinking of a one-time switch? Luna's not thinking of a one-time switch. He's got way too many caps. He played in the Gold Cup. He can't do a one-time switch. So I don't know where you're hearing that report, but it's literally impossible. Banks, I don't think is going to want to play for the U.S. right after the World Cup. I think, if anything, he's going to wait around for Germany. And once he realizes he's never going to be a serious player with Germany, then he might come crawling back to the U.S. And I think that's going to be a very controversial time. A very controversial time. All right, Japan get a free kick here. Wait, he said in a video on YouTube that he's thinking of making a one-time switch. Okay. First of all, I don't know if he actually said that. I would be very surprised if he said that because it means he knows nothing about the rules. And if making a one-time switch to Mexico, because you didn't make a World Cup, if you're thinking of switching to Mexico, then you maybe never really wanted to represent the U.S. in the first place. Okay? But I'll be honest, I would be very surprised if a professional player who's got almost 20 caps for the U.S. and played in a competition like the Gold Cup, which is cap tying, would ever seriously say that they want to file a one-time switch because everyone knows that's not possible. So if he said that, if he genuinely said that, then he's a lot dumber than I thought. But I'd be very surprised if Diego Luna actually said that. There's no way. Are you leaving us to go coach the USMNT? Honestly, the USMNT deserves so much better. Oh, Japan in behind, cut out, corner. All right, 3 minutes left plus added time. He said it in a video with Chicks Toxicos. Is it in Spanish? Is it in Spanish or in English? Because if it's in Spanish, I don't understand Spanish. Oh, Japan! Oh, Japan scores! Oh, 2-2. Oh, 2-2. Japan scores 2-2. This feels about right. A draw feels like the right result here. This feels like the right result because Japan and Netherlands have been mostly, I would say, quite even in terms. Oh my God, is Kubo limping? Kubo's got ice on his knee. I hope he's okay. Oh, it's in English. It's in English. Yeah, send it to me on Twitter. Julian, do you have Twitter? Send it to me on Twitter. Ah, it deflected. Yeah, the header. Oh, it deflected over on the head of another Japanese defender. Wow. There's something about excited Japanese people that brings me joy. Yeah, they're a very likable fan base. They're a very likable fan base. And it's fun to see them be good. Too much orange is bad. Do you have Instagram, Pete? Yeah, the 11 Yanks. Just go to 11 Yanks Instagram and send it to me there. Kenny MGG. Pete just got here. How's the game going? Well, the first half was quite dull. Second half has really come alive. It's 2-2. 2-2. Is Japan a dark horse based on this game? Yeah, I would say so. I mean, not even just based on this game. They've got enough talent to be a dark horse, but I think they would be more of a serious dark horse if they had Minamino and Endo and Mitoma. Those three would have made them a serious dark horse, but hey, they managed to get a draw with the Netherlands, so that's not bad. And it's not over. What if they win? What if they win? Hey, foul. When the cold winds blow, your fire keeps me warm. When the sun gets me down, I will rest and find. Ooh. Ah, you blocked him off. Japan pressing. Be kind of cool if Japan got a last minute winner. Want the US MNT to knock out Mexico again, just like in 2002. We're not on the same track as Mexico. We're not likely to meet Mexico. But yeah, that would be a nice feeling. That would be a nice feeling for sure. All right, there's 6 minutes of added time. We're done 2 of them. This is actually Fox 1 has been pretty good because right now, compared to FOTMob, I'm only about 9 seconds behind. Oh, dude, US Mexico final would be destructive. US Mexico final, which will never happen. But if it did happen, that game would feed families for generations. Generations. It would feed families. Honestly, I would take US Mexico in a third place playoff. That, usually the third place playoff is like, it doesn't really matter. Believe me, it would matter. If the US and Mexico got the third place playoff together, it would absolutely matter. I like this ref view thing. Thoughts? Yeah, I like it too. So long as they don't overdo it. It's a nice sort of extra angle from on the pitch itself. I don't mind it, actually. Holland still trying. The Netherlands, I'm sorry, still trying. Japan goalkeeper caught it. A draw feels like the right it feels like the right result here. I don't want that. Losing that game would be insufferable. I think we would beat Mexico, though. I think we would. Japan would have won this if they had all the starters. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. I think if they had Mitoma and Minamino and Endo, I think they would have won this game. Anyway, Canada and Mexico face off. I'm not sure. I think they're on the other side of the bracket. Yeah, Japan is going to park it. I mean, if you can get a draw with the Netherlands, you absolutely take it. Good defending there. Yeah, just clear it at this point, guys. Clear it. I don't think Canada's going to get grouped, guys. They managed a credible draw with Bosnia, and all they have to do is beat Qatar, which should be doable for Canada. Great second half, says Jeff from C. Dallas, Texas. Spicy Jeff. It is a great second half. It's been a really fun second half. Netherlands lucky this is Japan and not Cambodia. Oh, shit. The Cambodian lore continues on the 11 Yanks channel. Not with Switzerland dropping points. Yeah, I can't see Canada getting grouped. Who will win the World Cup first, USA or Mexico? I would say USA. I don't think either of us is close, but Mexico has been a top soccer nation in the world. Game over. 2-2, Japan and the Netherlands. Good game. Good second half, at least. Mexico just doesn't seem to be developing they're not progressing in their talent development. In fact, you can argue they had more talent before, and recently it's kind of dropped off. Whereas the U.S. is actually going somewhere with developing talent now. So I think if anybody wins it first between those two, it's going to be the U.S. But no need to worry. It's not going to happen anytime soon. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Tax into Ivory Coast, Ecuador later. Check out the Patreon. Hit that like button if you haven't already. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Belgium versus Egypt.